Everyone thinks they have time. Time to love, later to change, and later to live later. But time doesn't give a warning when it decides to charge the price for what you postponed. Today, you will hear the story of a boy named Lazy and understand why some regrets last forever. Stay until the end. This story might change the way you see every second of your life. In the city of Monte Azul, there lived a boy named Nicholas. He was smart, creative, but had a problem. He left everything for later. "I'm coming, Mom. Just 5 more minutes." That sentence was his trademark. Nicholas wasn't a bad person. He just lived at a pace no one could understand. While the world ran, he walked. While others began, he postponed. Over time, people began to label him, "That one's lazy. You can't count on him." And Nicholas didn't seem to care. He smiled, shrugged, and said, "Relax, I still have time." But what he didn't know is that time can't be stored. It doesn't come back. And it never tells you when it's leaving. The one who tried hardest to open his eyes was his grandfather, a man with calloused hands, few words, and deep eyes. He always said, "Life doesn't warn you, my grandson. One day you wake up, and it's already gone." Nicholas listened, but he didn't really hear. He always thought it was just an old man's exaggeration. "I'll deal with it later, Grandpa. I'm still young," his grandfather sighed. "Yeah, you're young today. Tomorrow, I don't know." His grandfather's words seemed to echo through time, but Nicholas stayed the same. He arrived late to school, forgot his homework, delayed his dreams, and every day he saw a girl at the bus stop. His heart would race. The desire to speak was huge, but "I'll talk to her tomorrow." But tomorrow never came, not for him, not for his grandfather. That Thursday, Nicholas was lying on the couch, scrolling on his phone, when the phone rang. The voice on the other end was cold. "Your grandfather fell ill. Unfortunately, he didn't make it." Nicholas's world stopped. It was as if time, the very thing he had always ignored, had finally slapped him in the face. At the funeral, he didn't cry. Not because it didn't hurt, but because it hurt too much to come out as tears. While everyone said their goodbyes, his older sister came closer and handed him an old, worn-out piece of paper. "He left this for you. He said it was only to be given if one day it was too late." It was a letter. "Nicholas, if you're reading this, it's because I'm gone. I didn't want to scare you with my advice. I just wanted you to understand. Time is not your enemy, but it's not your servant either. It's just time. And when you waste it, it's not time that disappears. It's you who fades little by little from your own story. Don't waste your time anymore, my beloved grandson. I will always love you so much." In that moment, something inside Nicholas broke. That night, Nicholas didn't sleep. He sat on the edge of the bed with his grandfather's letter in his hands, reading each word again as if it were a prayer. It felt like, for the first time, he was truly awake. The room looked the same. The city was still Monte Azul, but he felt that something inside him had changed. The next morning, he did something he hadn't done in months. He got up without anyone telling him to. He made his bed, and before breakfast, he stood in front of the mirror, looked himself in the eyes and whispered, "I won't erase myself from my story anymore." Of course, nothing changed overnight. The habit of postponing still knocked on his door. The desire to lie down a bit more still called his name. But now, there was a voice inside him that was stronger, his grandfather's, and it said, "Get up, my grandson. Life is passing by." In the first few days, Nicholas decided to start small. Wake up an hour earlier, get to school on time, do his homework. The same day he received it. At first, everything felt strange, tiring. Sometimes he felt like giving up. But then he opened the drawer and read the letter again. That's how, step by small step, Nicholas started to reclaim the place that had always been his, but that he himself had abandoned. 3 weeks later, He had a study routine. 2 months later, he presented the best project in the class. 4 months later, he got the courage to talk to the girl at the bus stop. "Hi," she smiled. "Hi, I thought you'd never talk." It hurt, but it was fair. Deep down, the world was never against Nicholas. He was the one out of sync with his own time. 8 months passed, and one day his mother walked into the room and saw something she'd never seen before. He was studying before breakfast with a schedule taped to the wall and a photo of his grandfather right in the center. His mother got emotional. "That's beautiful, son. You miss him, don't you?" He smiled. "I do." He looked at the photo and added, "But now I feel like I'm honoring him too." 10 years have passed, and today Nicholas is recognized across the country as one of the most inspiring voices of his generation. Not because he got rich, not because he created something grand, but because he made a choice that almost no one makes, to embrace the present as if it were all that exists. Yes, he achieved success. Yes, he fulfills dreams. But what truly transformed his life was learning to be where his feet are now, here, because he understood that time is not just about clocks or calendars. Time lives in every gesture you choose to live. And he learned that in the hardest way, by losing the person he loved the most. Today, Nicola gives lectures around the world, and he always repeats, "The greatest regret of my life was believing. I had plenty of time, and the greatest decision of my life was not letting that happen again." He ends his lectures with the same sentence every year. "You'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." With Nicholas's story, we learn that time doesn't wait. Change is hard, yes, but starting small is the most powerful path. And what truly matters is living the now, being present, cherishing those you love before they turn into longing. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, you will always find stories that warm your soul and awaken truths that were asleep inside you. See you in the next video.